Hi friends and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello. My name's George Agambar and I'm a UK music producer. Today's video is going to be relatively quick. We're going to be having a look at how we can manually align the timings of multiple vocal tracks. And this can be really useful when you have lots of vocal doubles or harmonies, but you still want a really tight, clean sounding vocal. Now you can use flex time to do this, and I have made a tutorial of how to use flex time, which I'll leave a link to in the description. But a video on how to manually do this was requested. So I hope you enjoyed this short and sweet summary of how I do this. Make sure you stay tuned and hit the subscribe button and notification bell for new videos every Wednesday.
And things will never be the same when I hear your name, since you kissed me in the rain.
Aligning your vocals does only make a subtle difference, but it's that last few percent and that tiny bit of attention to detail that will really improve your mixes and make them stand out. It makes your vocals sound tighter, more in time and more professional. If you're going for a really large choral-like vocal sound, then you may not want to align your vocal tracks, and this is because you'll want it to sound like there are multiple voices singing, and slight differences in timing really helps achieve this. But if you want a really tight, clean vocal sound, like you'd hear in a lot of modern pop music, then aligning your vocals is something you're going to want to spend a bit of time working on. So let's have a look at how to do it. Firstly, you want to make sure that you have all of your vocal tracks imported into your Logic project. I like to put the main vocal line at the top of the project in one colour, and the doubles or harmonies or any additional vocal lines below in another colour. This helps me organise my project and make sure that I know which vocals I am editing. I also just make sure that I've named all of the tracks as well to avoid any confusion. Next, I split up my workload. I focus on small sections of the song at a time. So today we're going to be looking at this phrase.
I feel so weak, I can't sleep, I hear your voice in everyone I meet.
Working on short segments helps me make sure that I don't get carried away and try and align the whole vocal track in one go. It means that I pay closer attention to each phrase, which gets me a better result. Then we can begin to edit the tracks. The premise of aligning vocals is fairly simple. We just look at the waveforms and want to make sure that the similar shapes are in the same position relative to our main vocal line. I make sure that I move the vocal track that I'm working on to just underneath the main vocal so that I can easily compare the two. So here's quite a distinct shape. I can see that it has been sung slightly later than the main vocal. So what I do is I use the scissor tool and I cut that shape out. I then move it back so that the beginning of the wave aligns with the corresponding wave in the main vocal. You can see that the wave doesn't quite end where the main vocal wave does, but that's not too much of an issue. Endings of sounds being out of time with each other won't be as noticeable as beginning of sounds being out of time with each other. I then do this for the whole phrase that I'm working on and end up with something like this. Next, we need to listen to the edited vocal track and the main vocal track together to make sure they sound aligned. So far, we've been working with our eyes, and now we need to use our ears. This is one of the very few times that I would recommend that you listen to the vocals in isolation, and this is so you can hear all the small details and nuances to make sure that the vocals sound perfect. Whilst listening in the mix can give you a really good idea of the final sound, you just can't hear all the small details you need to because there's simply too much going on. So here are the vocals before and after aligning.
I feel so weak, I can't sleep, I hear your voice in everyone I meet. I feel so weak, I can't sleep, I hear your voice in everyone I meet.
As you can hear, small differences, but certainly make the sound a lot tighter. Finally, I add some fades in between all the cuts I have made. This isn't a completely necessary step. The additional vocals tend to be so low down in the mix that it isn't too noticeable if you have a jumpy sounding track. I just like to do it for peace of mind. It makes the transitions slightly smoother and doesn't take too long to do, so I think that it's worth doing just in case. So just so you can hear, here's the aligned tracks with and without the fades.
I feel so weak, I can't sleep. I hear your voice in everyone I meet. I feel so weak, I can't sleep. I hear your voice in everyone I meet.
Don't worry too much if you couldn't hear the difference between those two tracks. As I've said, this effect is very subtle and not too noticeable. Once we've added all the fades to our track, we're finished, and we can move on to the next phrase where we simply repeat the whole process.
I feel so weak, I can't sleep. I hear your voice in everyone I meet. I feel so weak, I can't sleep. I hear your voice in everyone I meet.
So that's really all there is to it. It's a great little trick to know how to do. And although it can take a bit of time, and using a VocALign plugin may be a lot easier and a lot quicker, they don't always work as precisely as you want. So if you really want to ensure that you have really super tight, perfect, professional sounding vocals, I would really recommend that you align them by hand. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you found it useful and helpful. Let me know what you thought in the comments below and if there are any other videos you'd like to see in the future. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell for new videos every Wednesday, and I will see you again soon.